Now we are presenting summary from Ayer Hitam Forest, the green lung of Klang Valley. This video is presented to you by Nira Hifazwa and Nirainina Karaniza. The content of this video are as following.
So, is now time for you to relax and enjoy. Ayer Hitam Forest Reserve is located in Selangor of Peninsular Malaysia. This green area in this picture is showing you as the origin area of Ayer Hitam Forest Reserve, and the other one is the area after it have been decreased because of the development and agriculture. In 1930, this forest is gazetted as Forest Reserve. However, in 1936 until 1965, some area of this forest are developed into housing, highways, factories, and plantations. In order to conserve this forest, government leased this forest to UPM for 99 years. In March of 2012, SISFEC is developed. SISFEC is known as Sultan Idris Shah Forest Education Center. SISFEC opening ceremony is launched by Dulian Mahamulaya Sultan Sharifuddin Idris Shah. Selangor state government leased 6 compartment to UPM. Function of SISFEC are as following: teaching, usually for forestry students. Research. Many disciplines of study have been done here. Extensions. Programs with community. The components of this forest are as following. This forest is classified as lowland forest. This is due to its elevation, which is the highest peak is only 233 meters above sea level. This forest is known as Kaladkadandong mixed Dipteracap forest. This is because they dominant in this forest. There are 2 peaks in this forest. Permatang Kuwang. And the other one is Permatang Kumbang. The highest peak in this forest is Permatang Kuwang. The origin people that lives in this forest is known as Timuan tribe. However, after the development, they are moving to the edge of the forest, which are more comfortable for living. So the facts for Ayer Hitam Forest Reserve are: first, it have 6 compartments. Second, it considered as largest carbon sequester in Klang Valley. From the research, they state that biomass contained is 84 to 233 ton per hectare, while the carbon absorption rate is 0.3 to 0.5 ton per hectare per year. This can be seen from this table below. Total biomass in this forest is in the same range with other virgin forest. This shows that these forests are still capable of absorbing high carbon.
And now, we go into biodiversity in Ayer Hitam Forest Reserve.
Why does these animals in this picture look angry and sad? Size of the forest keep decline. This will make the number of fauna decline fastly. This is because animals are more easily affected than plants. However, Ayer Hitam Forest Reserve is known as rich lowland dipterocarp forest as it houses a third of the total number of tree species and nearly 50% of tree families. And now we will explore this forest to see the fauna here. What are provided by this forest for fauna? The tropical forest provides the basic necessities such as cover. It gives safety cover for the wildlife. Refugia. It supports the isolated population. Breeding habitat. Usually for the migratory animals such as birds. Feeding. It provides foods for the fauna. Some of the fauna that can be found here are Orthrum chrysis, Rasbora elegans, Phyton reticulatus, caterpillars. And now, we will look at amphibians and reptiles. These groups are ectotherms, animal that is dependent on external sources to control body heat. Amphibians. They lived on land and in water. They lay many eggs and their skin is permeable. However, for reptiles, their skin are scaly and dry. Amphibians are easily affected by environment. So, they act as nature's indicator. Big threats that facing amphibians is habitat loss and degradation. In peninsular Malaysia, there are 100 species of amphibians and 156 species of reptiles. However, in Ayer Hitam Forest Reserve, there are 24 species of amphibians and 8 species of reptiles. Birds in Ayer Hitam Forest Reserve consist of 38 families and 180 species. Mainly birds here are fruit and insect eaters because this forest is logged forest. Migratory birds are high in number. This forest acts as stopover for them. Some of the birds that can be found here are Luscinia cyane, Calyptomena viridis, Pitiguajana, Altsbacamina, Amacurus ruficapillus, Cocycus malabaricus, all individuals that found in this forest are formally protected. From research that have been done in 1991, they believes there are still 3 large fauna exist here. The 3 large Malaysian fauna are Arantia tigris corbeti. Anthropartus. Helarctos malayanus. From the list of protected animals, high number of protected fauna are birds. About 25 species are considered as protected and totally protected. Birds that have been protected consist of migratory and local birds.
And now it's time for us to study about the mammals in the Ayer Hitam Forest Reserve. Many of the larger mammals have disappeared or reduced in number. This is due to size of forest that become more smaller. From the list here, we can see that Ayer Hitam Forest Reserve have 26 species of mammals and 6 species of primates. Some of the mammals that can be found here are Paradoxurus hermaphroditus, Nyctispus kukang.
Other diversity that we have here are
Some species prefer specific habitat and their habitat are favored by food plants. What type of flora do Ayer Hitam Forest Reserve have? We have timber, wild fruits, medicinal plants, fern and allies, mosses, endemic and rare species. We have recorded timber and medicinal plants that endemic in peninsular Malaysia and mosses that endemic in Selangor. Fruit trees. There are moderate diversity of wild fruit trees and be used by wildlife for survival. Some of species are Disoxylum cauliflorum. Fruit of palm genus Agonura. Aquilaria malacensis. This is some list of wild fruit trees. Caratia mollissima. Barringtonia racemosa. Eugisona tristis. Bacoria parviflora. Characteristic of timber are produce stama or resin. Their fruits have 2 to 5 wings, they mainly occupying emergent layer. Have high endemicity. No annual flowering season, usually between 2 to 10 years. These trees are important for timber industry. In Peninsular, there are 162 species and distributed from coastal to mountain. However, in Sisfec, there are only 5 genus and 13 species. Some of the common species in Sisfec are Sharia bracteolata, Sharia leprosula, Sharia macroptera, Sharia parvifolia, Vaticolobata, non-diptera cap. They are species other than diptera cap trees. Their height is usually 20 to 35 meter but sometimes exceed until 40 meter. There are 2,830 species of non-diptera cap in Peninsular. How to identify non-diptera cap species? Based on vegetative characteristic. Have latex/hissing sound and smell like lime. Families that dominate in Ayer Hitam Forest Reserve are Myrtaceae, Clart, Bursae, Kdondong. Examples of valuable non-diptera cap timbers from Ayer Hitam Forest Reserve: Centaura coriacea, Gonistylus sp. Ctenoliphan parvifolius, Merswafera, Palacium sp. Ferns. Ferns are abundant in Ayer Hitam Forest Reserve due to their preference to disturbance habitat. There are 33 species of ferns are recorded here. There are also other plants of interest. For example, crewing. We get resin from this tree. We use leaves from pallas leaves for wrapping. We eat raw fruit from Archidendron gyringa. And Temuan sells rattan for substantial income. There are many of other functional organisms range from bacterial to arthropods. The most diverse group are fungi. Some of the species of other functional organisms are Why we need to conserve Ayer Hitam Forest Reserve. Maintain flora and fauna, refugia for wildlife, conserve endemic and heritage value. How to conserve Ayer Hitam Forest Reserve. Through education and research. By getting more information of biodiversity. Development fund. Such as boundary fencing. Enforcement. Especially at northern part of forest. Systematically manage. By planning and development. Under National Forest Act 1984, there are 11 functional classes of forest. Ayer Hitam Forest Reserve is classified as a research forest. Research, teaching, and extensions activities are held here. Recreational activities also are organized here. These are the example of some activities that have been done. Strategic location of this forest has high value. If it is converted into logging area, the value is 42.8 million. Or if it is converted into housing area, the value expected to be 1 billion. However, this forest are more valuable because of these functions.
Together, we can reduce the global warming by conserve our forest.
Thank you.